everybody. We're going to be checking out Axe Roguelike 2. It's going to be,
App switcher.
I'm going to put
Axe
it on
RPG 2. Active. Swipe up with three
App
fingers to
Switcher.
close the app. Swipe up or down to select.
It's going to be an awesome gameplay. I've done a little bit of play, I think about a good 10 minutes or so. It's going to be a builder slash roguelike slash incremental slash war game, a little bit of everything. It looks like it has a little kind of like an army build to it. It's got a way to create almost like lit RPG style character enhancements and attacks and skills. It totes more than several hundred different builds you can create with the different kind of skills you can learn. I don't know if y'all remember, I first covered Axe Roguelike, the first game, maybe about a year ago, and I was quite impressed by it. And I was able to complete a couple of combats, though it was very difficult to kind of grasp the UI and the gameplay. Now, from the short period of time, and I want to emphasize, I've only had a very short period of time experimenting with Axe Roguelike 2, I've been able to take quests, move into town. I've been able to go to the town, and I've been able to move through the menus. Everything looks looks totally different than the first game in that the UI is much more streamlined. It's much easier to follow. It's much more accessible. The music is controlled and is tempered correctly, so you get beautiful background sound. And the background music itself is quite gorgeous, and I really, really like it. Again, if this game is something that I can fully play through, I have a 100% idea that this would be something I'll be playing for hundreds of hours. It definitely feels like a war RPG. It kind of has that feel to it. And again, I'm really hoping it's going to have a little bit of everything. So I'm very excited about it. But of course, if you really like this game, this is going to be a first play. Hope you like the music I included, if I got a chance to include it. I'm currently working on a song for first play. It's more like a rap with 0 people. Big assist from Queen Angel. But yeah, if you like that, and if you like this video and you are really enjoying my content categories, please feel free to like and comment, share, and of course subscribe. Really makes a big difference to me. Of course, give the developer some love also. You can find a link to this game in my description. Go ahead and play it, purchase it, rate it in the App Store, and let me know on my Discord if you have any specific information to help me play this game more successfully. Of course, the way to give me information, I'm going to give you the layout of how that would look. I'm looking for information about how to move through the menus, the best way to kind of like structure how I play. What are some tricks to get through the UI? What are some gameplay tips and tricks and structure to help people play the game? Here's what I'm not looking for. I'm not looking for people to like micromanage every little thing I do. You don't really help anybody when you say you should have went left instead of right. No, just explain how to do something thoroughly, concisely, without mentioning game double tap. Just walk through how to do something. That's really going to help people know how to play a game. That really makes a huge difference. And if you don't think you have enough space in my comments, feel free to email me at gamedoubletap@gmail.com. And if the dev is listening, I am definitely looking for any tips, tutorial, or information you have to offer me other than your already fabulously built-in tutorial. And of course, this game does have a fabulous built-in tutorial. So please read it thoroughly. By the way, to the dev, you can totally add another several paragraphs to kind of explain the nuances of those who are using voiceover. I really, though, want to say I appreciate everything you've done. I don't know yet how much I'll be able to play, but I have a lot of hope, and I really appreciate all the work you put into making this game feel good, making the UI feel clean and accessible. All right, folks, we're going to get back into it. So I know the music will be a little loud. The gameplay, though, tends to be really quiet with kind of like sound effects in the background. And I really like that the sound effects are not too loud. I think I spent about 2 hours listening to the sound effects yesterday. They do repeat. And if the dev wants to fix that problem with a repetitive repeat, you can do something like put some pauses in or make a monster sound or maybe some people talking. That's a good way to add a differential when you're playing a sound effects soundtrack or an ambience. And you could actually mix it, make it so that the sound effects in the background mix a little bit. Maybe perhaps make a couple of little pieces of sound effects, like maybe somebody cleaning a weapon or somebody fighting or practicing against a wooden dummy, maybe somebody talking in a non-understandable voice, maybe just a sound of a critter just calling out. Right now, I think the only critters calling out are birds. You could put some foxes, some wolves, you could put a howl in there. You can actually include more sounds like wind, people walking on the ground. And that's a good way to kind of vary the ambience in the background. Also, if you could also add a very, very lightweight soundtrack in the background. A lot of devs make the mistake of adding a very heavy soundtrack, and it makes it hard for those who are visually impaired to hear because we're mostly using our hearing to kind of like navigate. But if you did want to add a soundtrack, you could kind of put a very lightweight, also with a toggle on or off soundtrack in the background. Okay, so those are my initial impressions. And of course, we're going to be doing this right out of the box. So this is my hot unbox. For some reason, YouTube has made it impossible for me to create new playlists. So I'm currently trying to repurpose playlists, and I'm also deleting playlists that I'm not going to be using here. It's kind of like my housekeeping for 2026. So if you're wondering where are all those promises of new playlists, it is not my fault. It is YouTube. YouTube has made it impossible for me with VoiceOver to create new playlists. I have no idea why, but I'm working on it. I'll let you know when I've kind of resolved that issue. All right, folks, let's go ahead and let's get started and let's play.
XRPG2, active. Tap to start. XR button. Double tap to select.
All right, last time I was in a town accepting quests, so let's go ahead and get started.
Option, by setting the battle speed to fast. The log will no longer, option, by setting, tap to start. Tap to start. Data select 1/5.
All right, you have data slots, you have 5 data slots.
Close. Button.
I highly encourage you to read the whole tutorial. I'm not going to do that here because that would be pretty boring.
Continue. Slot 1. LV0. Land of Wolves.
And
Button.
now I'm in the land
Double tap
of
to select.
wolves, so at least the continue slots are incredibly punchy and nice. See, as I told you, the UI is so much more crunchy.
Now loading. Map name. Land of Wolves. Time 10:00.
I love that there's just ambience because the soundtrack would be too loud for me to use with VoiceOver. All right, I was in town and I was accepting quests, so I'm going to see if I can accept more quests.
Map Land of Wolves. Panel 1-3. Map Land of Wolves. Panel 3-3. No event. It can be moved. Go to current location map. Disabled. Map list. Base. Run the current location panel. Button.
All right,
Tap to
base
select.
is where I went last time, and the base is going to have various shops that you can interact with.
State. Base. Run the current location panel.
gonna go in
Frontier
there.
Village. Move within the base. Next.
Okay.
Button.
This
Double
is
tap
your
to select.
village. It's a little hard to understand. I have a request from the developer. If you're going to call it base, why not give it a name underneath base? Like call it base, currently located in Frontier Village. Because there's a slight but minuscule disconnect when you go to the base and then it calls itself something other than base. I'd really like if things were named. That way I can have a little bit more directive in what I'm doing and where I'm moving to.
Square. Use this facility. Button. Double tap
All
to
right,
select.
so again, there's a few misleading terms, and they're not too difficult to get around because nothing catastrophic happens when you do something wrong. You just kind of realize, oh, I'm in the wrong place.
Shop. Use this facility. Button.
Now, I've been to the
Double tap to
shop.
select.
It's really cute, and you can accept a quest there, and I think you can purchase items. I'll show you.
Talk to village shopkeeper. Button.
You can
Double tap
talk
to
to
select.
people.
Quest from village shopkeeper. In progress.
You can
Button.
get quests
Double
from the
tap to
village
select.
shopkeeper. I've currently accepted the quest. If you talk to the shopkeeper, they'll give you a brief overview of the quest.
Talk to village shopkeeper. Button.
I have a
Double tap
suggestion
to
to the
select.
developer. Since you're already going to accept the quests from the shopkeeper, when you talk to a shopkeeper, I think that'd be a great opportunity to have the shopkeeper just make some random suggestions or quotes, or maybe say something like, there's a warlord nearby, or war is brewing, or something to the effect that my wife would really love a nice engagement ring for the ceremony of our whatever. Just make some really interesting side notes, which could possibly open up side quests. It's a great opportunity to throw that stuff into the mix. So I'm going to show you what really happens when you talk to one of the folks in the buildings or
Talk to
structures.
village. Quest from village shopkeeper. Talk to village shopkeeper. Button. Double tap to
The
select.
button is a little delayed, but give it a few
Village shopkeeper
seconds.
is talking. Could you go and hunt some wolves for me? Tap to next.
Okay,
Button. Tap to
so
select.
everything here is fine, a little delay on the button, but the person will kind of, it's a real quest because you know you've got the quest because they'll say you already have the quest. That's excellent, and I really appreciate that. Also, the next button's in there. That's excellent, and that's best practices. So you know exactly where you are. And the fact that there are buttons that are robust is really, really awesome. Anytime a game has buttons for anything that you can interact with voiceover is absolutely excellent. And developers done a fantastic job of putting those elements into this game.
Village shopkeeper is talking. Could you go and hunt some wolves for me? Tap to next.
So
But bows are effective against wolves. Tap to next. Button.
okay, so now
Double tap to
there's new
select.
information. This part I didn't go through. So you're actually getting important strategic information from the shopkeeper. That's excellent.
Bows are effective against wolves. Tap to next.
So
Button.
he's telling me
Double tap to
that
select.
bows are effective against wolves. This is really important for me because maybe it's time for me to pick up a bow. As far as I understand, I'm only one person, but I also am a person who can kind of use many different pieces of equipment. That's really cool. So I'm going to see if I can pick up a bow because if that is effective against wolves, it'd be good for us to have
Bows
it.
are effective against wolves. Tap to next. Button.
Let's hit
Double tap to
tap.
select.
And if the developer's also listening, tap, just say double tap if it's going to have accessibility setups. Obviously, for those who are not using this with accessibility in mind, tap's not going to matter to you. But for those of us who are visually impaired, double tap's going to indicate that we're going to confirm with a button. But tap is fine too. But there could be a toggle for those who are using this with accessibility in mind or voiceover. The things that tap could be turned to double tap.
Bows are effective against wolves. Tap to next. Talk to village shopkeeper. Button. Double tap to
Okay, it
select.
didn't do anything
Talk to village
else.
shopkeeper. Quest from village shopkeeper. In progress. Exit. Button.
Looks
Select.
like I don't think I can buy anything yet. Maybe I have to complete the village shopkeeper's quest in order to open up access to purchasing items.
Sell. Items for sale. Buy. Apple.
Oh,
Sell.
wait, there it
Exit.
is.
Sell. Button.
There's a
Tap to
sell
select. Items for
button.
sale. Buy. Apple. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Price 300. Effect field effect. Restore your stamina by 3. Battle effect. Gain sustain. 2. Detailed effects. Sustain. X turns. Recover HP at the start of the turn. 5% of max HP. Up to 30. Disabled. Button.
Okay, this
Double
is
tap to select.
interesting. So the sell button is in front of the buy button. That doesn't matter. But yeah, there are some things to buy and sell here, which is really cool. Some pauses in between on the definition would be great. We could just put a little pause, clean up that definition of the item a little bit so that I can clearly hear it. But here's where I think I'll probably just lower the speaking rate to 60 so that I can take a little bit more time to mentally process what it's telling me is here. I don't think I can use my rotor right now, but I'm going to double check. No, because we put on a certain, okay, this is kind of one of those games where you can't use your rotor because you've turned on a certain functionality. Some games do not let you use your rotor. They're using a kind of system that uses voiceover, but it doesn't allow you to use some of the more fancy things that VoiceOver can do. So I would think in this kind of game, select your speaking rate before you start playing.
Buy. Bread. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Buy. Apple. Stock. Sell. Items for sale. Buy. Buy. Bread. Stock 1/1. Buy. Apple. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Price 300. Effect field effect. Restore your stamina.
Looks
Buy.
like I
3.
have
Battle
an
effect. Gain
apple.
sustain. 2. Buy. Bread. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Price 300. Effect field effect. Restore your stamina. Buy.
Oh,
3.
wait.
Battle effect. Gain stalwart. 2. Detailed effects. Stalwart. X turns. Reduce normal damage taken by 20%. Disabled.
Wow. Very cool
Button.
stuff. Okay,
Double tap to
all
select.
the items are really, really cool. Um, Looks like these are the items that the shopkeeper has available, and that's all they have in their inventory. I think that's really cool because you just can't get ahead by buying a bunch of stuff. But I am excited to know if the game will keep up with all these variables. I'm very excited about that. Um, I don't know if I should buy anything. Also, I really don't know how much money I have. I'm going to try to move around and see if I can hear how much money I have.
Buy. Apple. Sell. But exit. Quest from village shopkeeper. In progress. Talk to village shopkeeper. Talk to village shopkeeper.
I
Button.
don't hear the money.
Double tap to select.
Best practices are usually the amount of money you have is located at the top of the screen. I don't hear how much money I have, so it's probably somewhere deeper into the menu.
Quest from village. Exit. Sell. Items for sale. Buy. Apple. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Price 300. Effect field effect. Restore your stamina. Buy. Bread. Stock 1/1. Buy. Cookie. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Price 300. Effect field effect. Restore your stamina. Buy. 5. Battle effect. Gain crush. 3. Detailed effects. Crush. X turns. Increase normal damage taken from single. Hit attack skills by 30%. Disabled. Button.
Okay, that's cool.
Double tap to
I
select.
love a cookie. It's really cute, the items you can
Buy.
purchase.
Elven bow. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Price 5,000. Effect you can only use axes.
Ow!
Disabled. Button.
I can't use
Double tap to select.
bows. Does that mean I'm going to have a class that travels with me, some type of companion, that will perhaps be able to use a bow? That'd be interesting. Looks like we can only use an axe right now. Well, yeah, we are the axe rogue.
Buy. Elven bow. Stock 1/1. Possession 0. Price 5,000. Effect you can only use axes. Disabled.
I think this is a good
Tap to
place
select.
if you are developing to put some items that are currently dimmed out so that the player knows there's going to be many more items we can use later on. Maybe there'd be even a cute little asterisk you can place that says, possibly you'll need a companion who can use this type of weapon or armament. I think that'd be a great place to put that into the shop, and I don't think it would overload the shop too much. Hints are always very, very valuable for players who are kind of like taking a look at a epic RPG like this. All right, we're good here. I just wanted you all to hear the shop, and also, as you can tell, I learned a lot of things.
Buy. 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 Sell. Exit. Exit. Button.
I'm also going to
Double tap to
test the
select.
button. I'm also going to see if any voiceover functionality works here. No, four-finger tap, top and bottom does not work. I'm going to try two-finger swipe
Exit.
down.
Button. Sell. Button. Items for sale. Sell.
Yeah, it
Button.
does. Two-finger
Double tap to select.
swipe. Two-finger swipe from the top looks like it kind of reads everything on the screen, but it didn't quite start at the very top. So we'll have to experiment with that more. And for those of you who are looking to do tutorials, either use my email at gamedoubletap@gmail.com or drop a short, not related to me, what I'm doing, but a short step-by-step instruction in the comments. I'll try to grab all those and make a combined list of tutorial and pro tips. By the way, if you're bragging, that's not a pro tip. Pro tips are not about you. They're about helping others. So if you're trying to offer a pro tip, bragging that you're the absolute best in the entire universe, it's okay. It's good for you. It's a free country, but it's not that helpful. If you have something really beneficial to offer everybody, go step by step and be very slow and very clear. And it's totally okay if you just offer one really good pro tip. It's better to have one really good pro tip than several tips that are just short shrifts and don't really give us a lot of information. Watch your spelling, and remember, dictation is an ass. It makes everything sound bad. I know because I use it. But yeah, if you want to type that out, make a little bit longer of a tutorial, please do so. those of you who are my channel friends who I have personal contacts with, you know you can always just text me whatever you've learned. And I will definitely say, if you text me any information, I take it that you're giving me free use of your tutorial. And I will, of course, share it with the audience. So just understand, if you're sending me anything, I'm going to use it, okay?
Exit. Quest from village shopkeeper. In progress. Exit.
The
Button.
exit button
Double
is
tap to
really
select.
easy to find, which I really like.
Quest from village. Talk to village shop. Quest from village shop. Exit. Shop. Use this facility. Button. Select.
All
Blacksmith.
right.
Use this facility.
Okay,
Button.
I did take
Double
a
tap to
quest from the
select.
blacksmith, but let's go inside the blacksmith again and examine a little bit about what the blacksmith has to offer.
Blacksmith. Talk to village blacksmith. Quest from village blacksmith. In progress.
I
Button.
already accepted a
Double tap to
quest.
select.
And by the way, accepting a quest is as easy as entering the shop, swiping down a couple of lines, which has really been made extremely easy by the developer, and then you double tap and accept the quest. It confirms you've accepted the quest, and it remains confirmed. You'd be surprised. Little things like that are a godsend.
Exit. Enhancement. Weapon.
Okay, looks like there's an exit button, and I kind of like the fact that the exit button is really easy to find. Also, thank you for not putting more junk around the exit button. I really hate when games have a bunch of clutter and chatting around the exit button. It adds flavor, but it also makes everything clunky. To me, a game runs smoother in its UI if exit buttons are uncluttered with no chatting. That makes them have no clunk. If you want to get clunky, that's where descriptors are going to be involved, conversations, hints, pro tips. It's okay to get as chunky and chatty with those as you want because the player can always swipe to get out of them or exit out of them.
Old axe. Enhancement. Weapon. Enhancement. Weapon.
Okay, so this is a category. There's no button. I really think that the dev, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and add some headings to these category headings. That would help those who are visually impaired who are using VoiceOver to quickly move through. Not that you're doing a lot of clunkiness, everything's kind of clean. But if you wanted to add even more extreme accessibility, you could give us an ability to move back and forth through the menu with four-finger tap the top of our screen, which would move us to the top of the screen, four-finger tap the bottom of the screen for those who are more advanced so that we can come up from the menu at the bottom. Especially when you're more advanced, you're going to be looking at the higher end weapons and properties. But yeah, if the developer wanted to add more enhancements to a future update, not saying this update doesn't work, not saying this update isn't accessible, it is. But if the developer wanted to add more aspects to make this game what I call extremely accessible, you could add more voice-over commands so that the visually impaired player could move back and forth through these aspects. How to code that, I'm not really great, but if you reach out to Randall Higgins of Touchment, he is an absolute godsend as a developer, and he would definitely, I'm going to speak for him, he would definitely work with you to help you add the aspects you need. Also, if this dev is listening, my community would gladly test any part of this game. I've got a ton of people in my community who love testing games. Beta testing, closed testing, whatever you want to do, reach out to my community, reach out to me at my email, and yeah, we'll get you going. Also, you can reach out to me on my Discord, Game Double Tap, as well.
Old axe. Enhancement. Weapon. Button.
So there's a
Tap to
weapon
select.
here. I wonder if this weapon we can look at the attack, defense, statistics of it by double tapping on it.
Old axe. Enhancement. Weapon. Button. Double tap to select.
I'm going to double tap on it and see if it's going to give us some statistics of the weapon.
Enhancement. Weapon. Old axe.
The UI is clean.
Back. Enhancement. Weapon. Old axe.
Okay, so here's where we could have a little help here. If I double tap on a weapon, the statistics for the weapon should be under the weapon. So I get a strong connect with selecting the weapon and knowing what the weapon does.
Back. LB up. Required gold 200. Disabled. Button.
Okay.
Double tap to select.
So the exit button is fine, but it kind of gets in the way. I'd really like if everything was connected in one place. Let me double tap the weapon and let me know what the weapon does. That would be a much better system here for me analyzing items that are in the shops.
LB
So
up.
this
Require gold 200. Disabled.
LB
Button.
up. So
Double tap
again,
to select.
abbreviations are going to be your worst friend when it comes to accessibility because VoiceOver reads abbreviations very incorrectly. And that is not a developer's fault. It's just what VoiceOver does. VoiceOver is like a very fine glass of wine. If you guzzle it, it just burns your throat. But if you take your time with it, and just sip at it, sniff at it, and then slowly sip, and then consume it slowly, you get to hear how it sounds when you're basically letting it interact with the player. So here's where spelling out level up or saying you must level up or you are not high enough level to use this weapon could be more useful than just saying level up. Um, Sometimes developers in the need to make things shorter to actually feel like they're helping you will hurt you because they're going to make an acronym like LV or ATK or DEF, and the player who's hearing it with their voiceover, it's not going to get the appropriate information they need to know what's going on. Now, some might say, hey, player, hey, visually impaired person, use your rotor. Well, hey, guy, I can't because this particular, like, type of Unity kind of platform doesn't allow me to use my rotor to character, word, line, paragraph, page navigate, okay? I can't select words. I can't navigate that way. So that's the problem. The only way I can know what the word is saying is to listen to it over and over again. That's okay after about 1,000 hours of playing a game because I would have memorized everything. It isn't very congruent to the player who's new to the game. A player who's new to the game wants to understand what to do. Obviously, we know there will be things we can and cannot do. So let's just spell out most words. If it has a little overlap, which means it could say something, attack the monster to win, it might only get to a certain amount and then it might overlap to the next line and you'll get a line that says something to the effect of to win. That's okay. It's totally okay if a line gets cut in half and it's a little problematic. That's okay. That isn't a big deal. I'd rather have a line of information or tutorial overlap a line than it just be too short like level up, because then you're making me guess. I've got to guess what that means. And yes, there's going to be other pieces of information and evidence for me to basically listen to figure it out. But wouldn't it be much easier if I heard it from the horse's mouth, so to speak? So that's just my belief. Do not use too many acronyms. It's okay to put acronyms in short submenus, especially when the player really knows what they're doing. For instance, if a player is attacking a monster and it says something like thrash monster or slice monster, and then in that submenu of that attack it says something to the effect of ATK up. I would understand what that means because I'm slicing. It's really easy to know kind of what we're talking about. But when you're kind of doing these headings and subheadings, I really need more information. And that's just in my humble opinion. All right, let's take a peek at what this particular weapon does.
LB up. Require gold 200. Disabled. Button.
Okay, so this
Double tap to select.
requires 200 gold and it's disabled. However, one of the biggest frustrations I have is that when they say disabled, why is it disabled? Why can't I use it? Is it because I'm not high enough level? A little bit more information would be fantastic. And then we have a blank space here, which is another bane of my existence. If there's a blank space here and there's no button, thank you, because that really helps. But I really get confused, like, am I looking for a button? Is a button going to appear here? Just get rid of this
LB up. Required gold 200. Disabled.
this click space.
Current status. HP 10. ATK 5. Def 5. Max SP 20. Current status. HP 10. ATK 5. Def 5. Max SP 20. SPR 2. Max MP 10.
Yeah, a lot of these acronyms are not too bad. Like everybody knows MP means magic points. Everybody knows ATK is attack. Everybody knows HP is hit points. You don't have to spell out all those acronyms.
Enhanced status. HP 12. ATK 5. Def 5. Max SP 21. SPR 2. Max MP 10.
So this one could use a pop-up pro tip or tooltip. For developers, that'd be a tooltip. I don't really know what I'm getting here. Only thing I could think of it here is that this is a blacksmith who would basically be improving a weapon or item. Okay, so here's a great place for the blacksmith to come in and say, hey there, young person. I would like to let you know this is where you improve your weapons. And here's what the first line means. Here's what this value means. Here's what you can expect. Here's where the costs will go up. Here's where you can get some improvements or enhancements. You can also have the particular NPC say something to the effect that enhancements of this type are typically expensive or typically cheap. And you could also have a little joking, the blacksmith could say something to the effect that, I hope that you will not use these weapons on nature's creatures, or I hope the gods will bless you in your holy bloody war. You can go either way you want, depending on your theme of your game, depending on your vibe, depending on your flavor. I'm overstating, obviously. But yeah, I think a lot of times there's missed opportunities to kind of embellish the flavor and vibe of a game. Everything's a little too short, when really it's okay. And by the way, if you are adding flavor and vibe, you can also make those randomly switched out, which means you can make it so that occasionally the advice or vibe they offer switches out. Totally okay to do that. Obviously, these are not earth-shatteringly important bits of information. The player is going to figure all this out. And of course, you can make them so that they turn off or on, so that more advanced players are not annoyed that they keep hearing the same bits of useless information. Advanced players really hate too much tutorial because they learn the game quickly and they don't want a bunch of excess verbiage. And that's something you can easily deal with by turning tutorial or tooltips off. Make it so that the player can turn it off or on, because sometimes players stop playing for several weeks, like me, and they come back to play and they go, uh-oh, I don't get this. So that's a possibility for a developer to think about.
Current correction effect. Vitality D. Attack D. Defense. Agility D. Intelligence.
So I'm familiar with alpha, alphabetical or alpha. What are we, okay, numeric and alpha denotations of level ups. For instance, in some games, items are upgraded from F and then they go up. Like they go from F, E, D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS, etc. So some games rate things, rank things based on a letter system. So items are stronger the closer they are to A, and they are weaker the closer they are to F. Okay? That's totally okay, but I would say if you're going to use a letter ranking system, include that in your tutorial. That could be really important information to players who are really good at reading things ahead of play. Some players will literally just read through everything in the game before they even attempt to play. And then they'll make a decision whether or not they want to play the game. All right, so there's a lot of information here. Again, you would just have to listen to the whole thing. And what I will do is I will just turn the speaking rate down next time I play so that you're hearing all the information a lot slower.
Enhanced correction effect. Vitality D. Attack D. Defense. Agility D. Intelligence. Enhanced correction effect. Vitality D. Attack D. Defense. Agility D. Intelligence.
Now, currently right now, I can't use that because it is dimmed or it's not allowed to be used. So We can't really do anything at the blacksmith, but I think in the future we will be able to.
Current correction. Current status. H. Enhancement. Weapon. Old axe.
I was able to swipe up.
Enhancement. Weapon. Old axe. Enhancement. Weapon. Old axe.
So maybe heading is working, but I can't access whether it is active. I had it active before I play. So pro tip, select your router to a slow speaking rate and actually put on heading. Because maybe it works, but we can't hear the headings. So the developer, you can turn it on so that we can hear heading, but obviously your system's working just fine.
Enhancement. Enhancement. Current status. H. Enhanced status. Current correction effect. Vitality D. Enhanced correction. Enhanced current status. HP 10. LV up. Require L disabled. Back. Enhancement. Weapon. Current status. H. Enhanced status. A. Current correction effect. Vitality D. Attack D. Defense. Agility D. Intelligence.
The voiceover is skipping a bit, so it might be that information is not smoothly streaming through the UI. So the UX has this kind of choppy kind of experience where it interrupts what voiceover is saying. I think you can probably figure that out. VoiceOver always has a bad habit of kind of doing that. Let's go back.
Enhanced status. Current status. HP 10. ATK 5. Def LV up. Required gold 200. LV up. Required gold 200. LV disabled. Back. Old axe. Enhancement. Weapon. Enhancement. Weapon.
All right, so that was another menu. So that was really good. So I really like when you get to go to a separate menu to take a look at weapons and items, upgrades. I really appreciate that.
Exit. Button. Select.
Okay.
Enhancement. Weapon. Exit. Blacksmith. Use this facility. Button.
Okay.
Double tap to select.
I really like the direction. So it says use this facility. And if you wanted to, with the exit, you could say exit from this facility. That would give a tiny bit more information without being too cumbersome.
Base. Run the current location panel. Blacksmith. Use this for space. Run the current location panel. Button.
And again, I don't know what
Double tap to
run
select.
means. Maybe you mean to say use or interact with, but run is throwing me off a little bit.
State. Button. Select.
There's also kind of like these little things that you can kind of do, like stave. It sounds like save or stave. Maybe there's a misspelling there. I'm not quite sure.
Change
So-
chain. Button.
All right.
Double tap to select.
There's things you can do in this game, like change how your character fights. You can change how your weapons interact and go off. Here's where the game gets incredibly versatile and dynamic. You can kind of create any kind of system you want, and it just requires having unlocked those abilities and skills. And you can kind of make your weapons and items do just about anything. That's pretty fantastic. And to my knowledge, I don't think there's any game that allows that much versatility in how you fight. So that's one thing the developer has going in their direction. They really give the player huge agency in the game.
Companions. Button. Double tap to select.
Companions are always awesome. Typically, I love having companions because it gives me some fodder, something to use, something to help me.
Quests. Button. Double tap to select.
Looks like your quests are all together here.
Skill tree. Button. Tap
We
to
have a
select.
skill tree, which is fantastic. I love skill trees. They're very fulfilling. It makes me feel like I have agency.
Starting skill change. Button. Tap to select.
Starting skill change, I guess that's me. I think we should put all these skill setups all in one little setup and maybe a submenu for each.
Return to title. Button.
And then, of course,
To select.
at the bottom here, you have return to title, which is useful. I like that. Best practices, sometimes you do need to go back to the beginning to save or something. I think you should probably include a little bit of information to the player that they know that their progress is auto-saved. That could be very useful. If our progress isn't auto-saved, I'd certainly like to know that I need to save. It's okay if it is or isn't. Just let me know. All right, I think that's pretty much all we can do here. What I want to do is try to get into a fight, and I want to see if I can grind a little bit. I also want to see if I can move freely in the countryside. The first initial 10 minutes I played, I couldn't quite figure that out. So we're going to try to see if we can figure that out.
Starting skill change. Skill tree. Base. Run the current location. Frontier village. Move within the base. Next. Frontier village. Move within the base. Next. Button.
There's also a
Double
lot
tap to
of
select.
built-in tutorial.
Preparation. Use this facility. Button.
And you
To
can
select.
here I can walk
Frontier
around.
Village. Preparation. Use this facility. Button.
So what does
Double tap to
preparation
select.
mean? I don't
Frontier Village.
know.
Move within the base. Back. Preparation. Use this facility. Church. Use this facility.
So it
Button.
looks like we're
Double tap to
moving from
select.
different parts of the village. So let's find out what preparation is. Maybe there's a quest there.
Preparation. Use this facility.
I'm going to go ahead and
But
enter.
preparation.
There could be NPCs here. Could be quests here.
Preparation. Status HP 10, ATK 5, Def 5, SP 20, SPR 2, MP 10.
So ATK is attack. DEF is defense. Again, just change that defense. You can leave the acronym, but have voiceover say the whole word.
Exit. Weapon change. Equipped with old axe. Will change. Weapon change. Equipped with old axe. Selected. Button.
Okay,
Double
we
tap to
already had
select.
an old axe. So in the stores, you could have the store say you already have this weapon. That could be
Will
useful.
change. Equipped with no mind. Button. Double
I
tap to
don't
select.
know what that
Weapon change. Will
means.
change. Equipped with no mind. Button.
No
Item A
mind.
change. Equipped with healing potion. Button. Double tap to select.
Okay, do we have a healing potion?
Item B change. Not equipped. Button. Double tap. Item A change. Equipped with healing potion. Button. Double tap. Item B change. Weapon selection. Old axe. Equipped.
Okay,
Button.
there we go. Here
Double
it's
tap to select.
equipped.
Old axe. Equipped. Button.
Okay, that's cool.
Double tap
I
to
don't mind
select.
having an old axe. If you wanted to, Deb, you could throw a little description for whatever weapon we're using. Maybe this old axe belongs to our father or our mother or our cousin or our uncle. Just throw a little description in there. That really goes a long way to adding depth to a game.
Weapon selection. Item B change. Item A change. Equipped with healing potion.
Lore, you can
Button.
also throw a little
Double tap to
lore in
select.
there. Lore is awesome. This game tends to have a feel of an Eastern Asia kind of feel to it, and I really, really like that feel. I really like that vibe. Almost has a feel a little bit like the anime Berserker. I love to get, I mean, if this is something different, just give us the feel, give us the vibe, throw some description in there.
Will change. Equip weapon change. Exit. Status HP 10, ATK 5, Def 5. Exit.
So
Button.
preparation,
Double tap to select.
I guess this is another opportunity for us to set up ourselves, but it felt like we could do it in the shop. So can we do it both places? Is that important, or is that just a versatility or a convenience?
Status H preparation. 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 Status HP 10. Exit. Preparation.
Exit.
Use this facility. Button.
Again, throw that exit at the top. Unless it's just you just feel it's better to have it the second line
Church.
down.
Use this facility.
Let's go
Button.
to the church and find
Double
out
tap to
if there's
select.
a buff we
Stat
can get
boost.
there. Oh, there's stat boosts here. Will these be future things that we can purchase? Will there? A lot of games make it so, like Agent of Adventure and stuff like that. Games like that make it so you can purchase blessings and stuff like that. Adventure to Fate dungeons. You go to churches, you can remove curses. You can also heal yourselves. So I wonder how close to those titles will this be?
Exit. Stat boost.
Looks like it just says stat boost. I don't know what that
Stat
means.
boost. Exit. Confirm. Required runes 0. Disabled.
Oh,
Button.
so you're going to need
Double tap to select.
runes? Okay, you need runes.
Status check. LV 0.
There's our level.
HP 10. SP. 上限 20.
Again, a little language comes out, a translation comes out. That's fine, but I'd love to get rid of that and just put some English there. And of course, be the language that the player selects.
ATK 5.
ATK 5.
SP. 回復 2.
See, I don't know what this SP means. I can assume spell points, or stamina points. It could be anything. Here's where the acronyms are really hurting.
Def 5.
That's defense.
MP. 上限 10.
That's magic points.
Operation panel. No changes will be made until you tap confirm. Reduce vitality. Current value is 0. Disabled. Button.
Operation panel.
Double tap to select.
I have no idea. A quick tooltip here would be phenomenal.
Increase vitality. Current value is 0. Button.
So we can increase
Double tap to select.
vitality. I assume vitality increases our max hit points. Does that mean when we level up, we get more hit points? Or does that mean we immediately get hit points, and then do we need to fill in the missing hit points? Because our max hit points will go up. Do we need to fill in what's missing?
Reduce attack. Current value is 0. Disabled. Button.
Reduce
To
attack.
select.
Don't know what that
Increase
means.
attack. Current value is 0. 0. Disabled. Increase attack. Reduce defense. Current value is increased defense. Current value. Reduce agility. Current value is 0. Increase agility. Current value is 0.
Here's
Button.
a new value, agility.
Reduce intelligence. Current value is 0. Disabled.
Intelligence.
Increase intelligence. Current value is increase intelligence. Current button. Double tap to select.
So this almost feels like Church will either temporarily or permanently upgrade these stats. Again, this is going to take some trial and error to learn.
Status check. Stat boost. Stat boost.
Swiping up with one finger, for my situation, I'm using my thumb, seems to get you to the top of the screen. So I thank the developer for putting the ability for us to really kind of headings kind of like jump up to the top of the screen. So I really like being able to move quickly through the menu.
Exit. Confirm. Required runes 0. Disabled. Button.
So we can't
Select.
do anything here. We'll come back here later. Hopefully a tooltip will come up and let us know, hey, go ahead and check out preparation.
Exit. But church. Use this facility. Locked. Use this facility. Disabled.
Okay, I like
To select.
locked. Locked is one of my favorite things. It tells me that there'll be something here, but please, I understand you're trying to leave some surprises, but what's locked? How about crematorium? Food dispensary. Just give us an idea of what's locked. It whets our appetite. You know?
Locked. Use this facility. Disabled.
So there's two locked
Base.
facilities.
Run the current location panel.
All
Button.
right, so there were two
Double tap
locked
to select.
facilities. I certainly hope there's much more than that ahead that we can unlock, which kind of really makes me think this is more of a builder, city builder, as well as a war game and RPG and roguelike. Again, there's so many ingredients in this particular dish.
Lock. Disable church. Preparation. Preparation. Use this church. Use this preparation. Use this frontier village. Move frontier village. Move within the button. Preparation. Use this facility. Church. Use this facility. Locked. Use this facility. Locked. Disabled. Base. Run the current location panel. State. Button.
I forgot what this does. I'm going to double tap it to double
Player
check.
state. Weapon old axe. Will no mind. Potion of healing potion.
Okay, state. STA. This is status. So again, that acronym, very not helpful. Let's just call it STATUS. Status. That would really, really help. Or you could call it my stats. If you really got to use an acronym, stats is going to help a whole lot more. But maybe my voiceover is just pronouncing it incorrectly. Again, you don't have to send me a comment and say you're wrong. That doesn't help. I usually just ignore those kind of comments. I'm trying to do something helpful. So if you want to help, be helpful.
Status HP 10, ATK 5, Def 5, SP 20, SPR 2, MP 10.
And see, here's where it properly says status. So why is the menu selection item using something wrong? I feel like it's misspelled. If it just said status, I totally know what we're doing here.
All effects.
So here's what's really good here. So there's a lot of very incredibly precise information you can find out. I love that because that means if I'm not sure what's making me suck at my job, I can pretty much find out right here that I've got some kind of status ailment.
All states. Close. Button.
So
Double
I
tap to
think
select.
what it says is stave, but it's state, S-T-A-T-E. I think you change that S-T-A-T-E to S-T-A-T-U-S, status. I think that helps.
Starting skill group. Skill change. Button. Double tap to
Again, I
select.
don't know how to do skill. I think that's a separate tutorial. I think that's already in the game.
Slash up. Attack 70% times 1. Target 1. Cost none. Startup increase the skill's damage multiplier by 10%. Detailed. Effect startup. Effect that activates when chain 1 is triggered.
So do I need to upgrade this now? I don't know.
Slash break. Attack 90% times 1. Target 1. Cost SP 2. Decrease the target's def by 1.
So this is going to decrease the target's defense, or def, they're calling it. So that's where voiceover does you no favors. So these are really cool. Reducing the target's defense is important for a boss. Increasing your attack is important for just killing off mobs.
Offensive. Cost SP 1. Your ATK plus 1.
So here we start getting stances. So I feel like offensive is a stance because SP is either stamina or it's some other resource that I don't understand.
Learn skill. Button. Double tap to
So I
select.
could learn this skill. Should I learn it? I don't know.
Offensive. Cost SP slash break. Attack 9 slash up. Attack 70. Skill change. Button.
So
To
I don't
select.
know if I should learn this stuff. I don't know if I should
Close.
learn it.
Starting skill group. Skill change. Button.
I
Double
don't know
tap
if
to
I want
select.
to learn skill change because this may not be what I want to do right
Slash
now.
up. Attack 70% times 1. Target 1. Cost none. Startup increase the skill's damage multiplier by 10%. Detailed. Effect startup. Effect that activates when chain 1 is triggered.
This could be good. It looks like whenever I activate a chain, the damage will go up by a huge amount.
Slash break. Attack 90% times 1. Target 1. Cost SP2. Decrease the target's def by 1.
This is another skill I could probably enact on my chain. Again, I tried to use chain when I played X Rogue 1. Whew, that did not work for me. I was very confused.
Offensive. Cost SP1. Your ATK plus 1.
Okay, so this one's offensive. It's going to increase my attack by
Learn
1.
skill. Button. Double tap
I
to
can
select.
learn the skill. Looks like it's
Learn
free.
skill. Button. Double tap to select.
Um, should I learn it now? I'm going to see if I can learn it for free. Here we go. I'm going to double tap.
Help player. 6/8. Skill tree.
Oh, so now we got dropped into the skill
Help
tree.
player. 6/8. Skill tree.
Help player 6. Okay, so now we get a little tutorial, which is
Skill
useful.
tree. You can learn skills from the skill tree screen. Each weapon has its own skill tree, and acquiring a new weapon adds a new tree. Learning skills consume skill points, which are obtained as your proficiency with the weapon increases. Learn skills can be set as starting skills or chain skills. Tree reset. You can reset your skill progress using the button in the bottom right corner of the screen. When executed, all skills in the currently displayed tree will be reverted to an unlearned state, and the spent points will be refunded. Runes are required to perform this action.
So it looks like the cost for refunding your skills are runes. So runes are going to be very valuable. We're not going to want to waste those. But at least if you make very bad choices, you can just get your whole thing refunded for rune costs. Now, whether that's cool is depends on how expensive runes are and the access to runes or the scarcity or whatever cost. So this is cool. I don't want to alter this yet because I really don't know what it's related to that well
Page
yet.
back. Button.
Let's just
Double
keep
tap to
reading the
select. Close.
tutorial.
Next page.
And
Button.
I do
Double
like
tap to
this
select.
next page. It's not too
Close.
bad.
Next page. Help field. 1/3. Map screen. Rune/gold/stamina displays the amount of runes, gold, and stamina you currently have. Map information displays the map in the current time. On normal fields, you can switch between discovered maps and fast travel to any visited base at any time. Various buttons. Center button. Use the function at your current location. Change skills. Set starting skills and their chain skills. Skill tree. Learn new skills from the skill tree. Items. View and use your items. Field skills. Use field skills provided by your weapon or will. Companions. Check your companions. Quests. View your active quests. Title. Return to the title screen. Help. Open the help menu status. Open the player status screen. Map list. Display a list of discovered maps. Change chain. Set the chain skills for your skills. Panel frames. Current location. The current location is highlighted with a red frame. Movable. Panels you can move to are highlighted with a white frame. Destination. Story destinations are highlighted with a blue frame. Sub-destination. Locations that lead to your destination are highlighted with a green frame. Fast travel. Bases available for fast travel are highlighted with a yellow frame. Panel types battle. Initiates a battle with enemies. Boss battle. Initiates a battle with a powerful enemy. Base. Enter the base via the center button and use facilities. Square. Talk with NPCs and accept quests. Event. Random encounters with enemies or NPCs occur. Stamina recovery. Recover action points via the center button. MP recovery. Recover MP via the center button. Gathering. Open the item gathering screen via the center button. Mining. Open the item gathering screen via the center button. Chest. Obtain items once via the center button. Dungeon. Move into a dungeon via the center button. Exit. Exit the dungeon via the center button. Locked area. Requires a corresponding key to unlock. Movement. Tap a panel adjacent to your current location to move. Moving consumes 1 stamina and advances the time. If your stamina is 0, moving will consume HP instead, but your HP will not drop below 0. Day and night on some maps. The time of day changes between day and night. The enemies that appear will vary depending on the time of day. Dungeon fast travel to a base is not available inside dungeons. You can return to the last visited base by consuming 5 stamina.
A lot of information there. So on your own time, go ahead and walk through that several times. But yeah, it's actually not bad. It's very informative. I don't like the square because the square doesn't tell me anything. So maybe instead of square, maybe make that square instead of a shape. Tell me it's the investigate button or explore button. And please, please, please drop a quick little tooltip under it. Like have it say, hey, double tap here to explore blank region. Or have a little area that said, instead of having something weird like numbers, how about say forest, monsters are here, or hills, wolves are hiding, or cave, There's a monster inside of here. You hear deep breathing. Because technically, for me as a visually impaired person, this is a text-based game. And you can do a lot with text if you just don't fall into the issue with visuals. And as far as the colors are concerned, I noticed that this developer did something really remarkable, which was to make sure that if anything has a color around it, it would voiceovers reading it says yellow outlined. Great, thank you. That really helps. I don't associate colors too well, so I think just tell us what this particular highlighted item is going to do. Whether it's want to fight, or you can fight here, or there's monsters present, or hey, let's go back and heal up. Hey, there's an inn here. Let's find out what's available. I like colors, but that's a visual person or a low vision person's thing. I don't know if colors help me that much. I'd really, really like to get colors as something for a person who is visual and descriptors for somebody who is visually impaired or even low vision. So I think that really helps. But yeah, the developer's done a good job. They've really tried to help folks out. But I think they're more like trying to help me be visual when I prefer not to be visual. I prefer to get information I prefer to get information from text. I prefer to get pop-ups that tell me something. I don't even mind. Info screens are great. Sub-menus are awesome. Just keep putting menus in a way and make sure we can come back. Trust me, once players' minds compartmentalize bits of information, we're not going to have a problem understanding what's going on. Trust me. It's just a matter of time before we learn what the menus do. Just please be very definitive with your menus and submenus. Make sure we can get in, make sure we can get out, and make sure each one of those menus are properly labeled, have buttons, and tell us what they do. Also, cute little sounds that confirm that we've done something. For instance, like spend money, you hear like a change sound, like my cha-ching. Where's my cha-ching button now? Like a cha-ching, that really tells me I spent some money. Also, if I equip something, you can have like whoosh, like I'm putting on some equipment. If it's metal, you can make it sound like if it's wood or paper or whatever, I'm making up some stupid kind of like differentiations for armor. Make it have that sound. If it's a weapon, have it like pull out of the sheath. Or if it's a bow, you can make it feel like I'm testing the bow before I buy it, like you're pulling the bow back and you're about to let it twang. Those are really cool, and I think not too expensive a sound effect or coding issue. I do know coding sounds is a total like pain in the ass. I mean, I've talked to developers who code sounds, and sounds are a pain in the ass. I totally get it. But those are some ways we could really add fidelity to this game and just make it. Okay, a game is also a game based on how you move through the menus, the UX. Games are not just about killing monsters. Games are also about the menus, how smooth, how clean, how uniform they are, how consistent, how crunchy and punchy they are. Those are also basically what makes a game game. So, so now we've got this part figured out. Let's go back.
Rune slash gold slash stam. Help field. 1/3. Help field. 1/3. Rune slash gold slash stamina. Displays the amount of runes, gold, and stamina you currently have. Map information displays the
Okay,
map
we're
and the
not
current
going to
time.
mess
On
with this
page back.
anymore.
Close.
Let's
Rune slash
close.
gold slash stamina. Page back. Close. Remaining skill points 0.
Okay, so I don't have any skill points anyway. And again, I don't know which SP means stamina and which SP means skill points. We've gotten really deep into this. It's been an hour already we've been covering this game. And this is just the town. Can you imagine how deep this game's going to get? But this might be a good time to take a break and come back for part 2 of X-Rogue 2. I really want to thank the developer for putting up with me. They are absolutely a fantastic person, and they've just done so much for our community, and I really appreciate them. You can pick up X-Rogue yourself, X-Rogue 2, in the App Store, iOS. I don't know about any other particular platforms, those of you who are channel friends can go ahead and let folks know in a particular reply. Keep your replies in separate categories. If you're talking about a pro tip, please don't combine it with an opinion. If you have an opinion, just make a separate reply or separate comment. It's really much more helpful if you separate your thought processes into different comments and replies. And of course, liking this video, especially a video that gets 10 likes, is going to trigger me to immediately do a follow-up video. If a video gets 20 likes, the video gets a series, which just means I will do, including the follow-up, 2 more episodes without your prompting. Any more likes beyond 20, and it just means it might become a kind of like a something I do every week. A lot of the games you hear me play every week is because they've received a ton of support and likes. So, and then sometimes they're just because I like playing them. So it's not always people like them, but I play them because I like them and they're easy to play and they're fun to play. But that's going to wrap it up for us today, folks. Thank you to AxeRogue 2. You can find the link to the game in my description. Like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. And rate the game 5 stars in the App Store. 5 stars, not 5 stars in the App Store. Rate the game 5 stars in the App Store. Rate the game 5 stars in the App Store. And as always, enjoy your Monday. Thank you for coming to Builder Mondays. I'm now calling it Builder Incremental Mondays because I'm actually going to be taking a look at a couple more incremental games, which are kind of like builders in a sense. And it's really the day I think they fit best. I'm going to be doing that. So thank you very much for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, always stay blessed. Happy Monday. Take care.